Hello. Hi. Oh, man. Trying to decide what I want to work on today. We are getting into some of the more detail-y parts. Yeah, this still looks blue, doesn't it? Let's see. How do I adjust that? Properties? No. Color correction. Hue shift. Ah. That looks more green. Okay. I don't know if I want to paint the back of the helmet. I think I might do some of these little bits. Maybe like some leather and stuff. My desk is a mess at the moment. I don't know where anything is. Hi, Ivan. Let's just get some of this stuff that I missed base coating. I'm gonna grab a bigger brush. Too late, man. You've made the announcement. Everybody wants an Ivan class now. Hi, Chromium. Thanks for tier 1, man. Oh, for 6 months of tier 1. And thanks to Opulence for the resub. 14 months, is that right? God dang. I've been doing this for 14 months? Where the heck has time gone? What? Go away. Go. You? Gone. Why can't I ban you? Why is my chat so weird in here? I don't know. Whatever. Just need to figure that out. By the way, tonight's not going to be a super long stream because I've got a little golden demon thing I got to get done. So probably going to do a couple hours. Anyhow. I can paint the dwarf for a little bit, and then it's back to a thing. No. I will not. Hi, Sammy. He's supposed to be a surprise. Maybe. No, you can definitely show it. It doesn't matter. I just like to keep some secrets, you know. I like it to be I I like some of my competition pieces to be like a reveal at the show. Makes it more exciting to me. But you can definitely, it doesn't matter. You can show it online if you want. It's like, I think definitely you can lose some wow factor by showing work in progresses for anything really. But definitely for competition pieces, I tend to think that you lose a little bit of that wow factor by showing them off before the show. Hi, Xtab. I mean, there's a difference between like showing it to your friends to get feedback and stuff, and then like showing it on the internet, you know? But generally, I think keeping stuff, keep some things under wraps. Build the hype. I mean, if you went to Golden Demon or any show and all you saw was stuff you've already seen on the internet, you might get a little bored. Does it have pointy ears? No. Hi, Alpha Dog. Xtab it shouldn't, right? But to say never, that's hard. In theory, yes, it should have no impact on the judging whatsoever if they've already seen it. But, people aren't perfect. Does it have ears at all? Yes, it has ears. I think. Yeah, it's got so many ears. It's just covered in corn. That's not a yes or no question. I thought this was 20 questions. No. Does it have muscly arms? Yeah, I would say yes. Yes. Human or some variant thereof. Some might even call it superhuman. That's an interesting, actually, Mia. Can you enter a Lord of the Rings figure into the open? Like, could you enter a bust of Gandalf? I don't think you can. I think Lord of the Rings has to go in Lord of the Rings category. Oh, I'd paint a bust of Sean Bean. Somebody get Torbjorn on the phone. I need a Sean Bean stat. I need him yesterday. Yes, it is. They're trying to guess what my Golden Demon piece is. Oh, interesting. Middle Earth. So you could do a what's it called? That's kind of cool. Now I'm like, yeah, yet. Exactly. There has not been one yet. There will be now. Cimarron, like a book? It's based on Middle Earth, right? Potatoes. Can we just do a meme of Frodo doing the all right, keep your secrets then as an entry? I want Lord of the Rings memes as entries. Hey Lucas, how are you? Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. You just paint the back like it's got another light or something. It doesn't, because you can't see both at the same time. So you just do a different light on the back. Busy. I'm busy, Lucas. Trying to get stuff done for shows, you know. Adepticon is starts 1 week from today. The Golden Demon entry is going fine, and I will definitely finish on time. %. I solo the tomato. Do I keep a record of time spent on comp entries? I mean, like, literal, like, timesheet? No. I have a rough idea. Incoming Kickstarter. I will not speak about any upcoming Kickstarters. I overrated. Hi, Sergio. Hola. ¿Qué tal? I mean, I guess you guys know that there's a Chimera one coming. It's been announced. Tenebra 2, or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, there's a lot. It's Kickstarter season. You're welcome. What it? Russian Blue Art. Hi. Welcome. Thanks. Thanks for following. Yeah, there's a lot of projects in the works. Got boxes on boxes. Thanks, Ushin Cat. Ushin? Yushan? Yushan Cat? I don't know. I'm so bad at reading screen names. Well, none of them have green skin yet. They could all have green skin or none of them because they haven't been painted yet. So who knows? Is it a green skin and before it's painted? Or is it just an orc? Am I trying anything new? I mean, not really. No. These figures just kind of paint themselves. if that makes sense. What was the story about? There's something, was it the original Star Trek that the first season was in black and white? And they used like a weird color paint on someone because it showed up better on black and white. There's some kind of story about that. Probably silver. I don't know. I haven't quite decided for the beard class. Maybe some kind of gold or bronze or something. Maybe a slightly more greenish gold to distinguish from the copper. what I mean when I say the figure kind of paints itself is I feel like it makes a lot. It's very easy to make decisions on the figure. It doesn't, let's just say it doesn't require a lot of thought. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing like the little beard and arm clasp thing more like a greenish gold, just to separate it out. That way I can pull in some of that teal into the gold. How many entries am I planning for Golden Demon? 1. Solono. Just 1. And for SMC, how many am I planning? At least 2. 2 big ones. How many will I bring? That depends on how many I can fly with. Zero for Monty. Wasn't hot glue. It's super glue. If it was hot glue, I actually, you know what? I say that. I was going to say if it was hot glue, I would have fixed it. But I probably wouldn't. I'd leave it because it's funnier. bird. Yeah. I mean, he definitely looks like a raven, right? I'll paint him in a... Let's just put a black wash over him. Just kind of thin this down. It's a rat. I mean, if it was a pigeon, you guys call pigeons rats with wings? Excuse me, Sean? Are you telling me how to paint a bird right now? I ain't got to do nothing. There will be no purples or blues on this figure that aren't teal. Yeah, those blues. Look, I fixed the color settings, okay? You can compare. You can still watch the replay from last week. And see that the color settings are more accurate now. Hi, Gary. Okay. Yellow. Some yellow. Do I have a favorite movie? Yes. My favorite movie is Hot Fuzz. I'm a slasher. A slasher of prices. I must be stopped. Alrighty. I'm a big fan of Edgar Wright. I wasn't really. What was the one that's the third in the Cornetto trilogy? Like something about the World's End, or where they go bar crawling and there's the aliens at World's End. Yeah, I didn't really like that one. But Baby Driver and Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are all really good. And speaking of Golden Demon, did you know that Baby from Baby Driver, Ansel Elgort, has a Golden Demon? Hi, Cannibal. I don't remember if it was in Youngblood or not, but yeah, he painted a pretty good Space Wolf like bust or something. They should add him to the Golden Demon Compendium and specifically tag Ansel Elgort. Yeah, everybody talks about Henry Cavill being the celebrity, Warhammer guy. He ain't got no golden demons. Our boy Ansel's got 3. He was also in What was the name? It's not Romeo and Juliet. It's the West Side Story. That's the movie. Played the main character in West Side Story. Yeah. Suck it, Henry. USA. USA. Hola, Diego. Yeah, Robin Williams was apparently pretty into Warhammer also. Thanks for following, Diego. Yeah. I always forget his name. John Rosenkrantz? Something like that. He does like a lot of special effects. He's gone to Monty and did pretty well. Shocker that the guy who like can make gigantic Terminators and stuff for film can also sculpt and paint miniatures pretty well. No, I don't know anything about modern pro wrestling. I don't think I could tell, like Ronda Rousey in WWE right now or something. I couldn't tell you a single pro wrestler at the moment. I assume Brock Lesnar's still around. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Not a pro wrestling guy. Well, you know, George R. R. Martin's like a big figure collector, right? He owns some pieces by Careel and Aaron Lovejoy. Where you at, George? Hit me up. You want me to paint an Elden Ring piece for you? You wrote it. Or at least worked on it. Let me do an Elden Ring figure for you. Sir Gizmo. Hello. Thanks for following. Who would you want to paint from Elden Ring? Probably Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. I think his character design is really cool. Our boy Alexander. That is the nerdiest thing I've ever heard. He's just like taking all his figures and setting up little battle scenes. You know, Strawfish, there's a guy in the chat right now who happened to paint a Lilith based on the Diablo 4 Braum artwork. It's me house, by the way. Meows, post your Instagram, get some followers, dude. Get some. Well, maybe not everyone is. They should be. I like Brahms stuff. I'm like, I don't know, Brahms is weird for me. So like some of his art I really like, and then some of it I'm like, eh. I like his stuff of Elric. I like some of his Magic the Gathering art. Like, will someone link me Hal's Instagram? Thank you, Dan. Yeah, Brahm's a weird one for me. Hey, whoa now. We getting into some Polish in the chat? I don't understand. I can't read that. There's too many consonants. Yeah, I'm going with like a bronze type of old gold thing. This Raven? No, they're talking about Korean R now. I can read that. Potato. Boil them, mash them, put them in a pierogi. Hi, Till. Thanks for the Prime Solo. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support, guys. I mean, you could just copy and paste it into, Google Translate. See you later. Google Translate definitely does better with certain languages than others. It is so bad at Japanese. I think because they're specifically from English to Japanese. Just because their sentence structure is like so much different than ours. What is that, bits? Oh, this is a gift sub. Thanks for the gift sub. Welcome, Yidao. It's a hype train. Still don't know what that means. But I appreciate the support. So shouldn't you be painting your golden demon right now instead of watching me? I mean, not that I don't appreciate it, but don't you got some work to do? No, not you. Strawfish. Hey. Thanks for the 100 bits, Sammy. All right. I'll allow it for now, but it better be done in time. I don't want any excuses. Got this look at his little face. He might, Dan. Guy's kind of a jerk, though. Is there much difference to how your NMM looks in hand to in photos? I mean, I hope not. I try and be as faithful to how the figure looks in hand in my photography as possible. Is like one of the things about my photographs. I try and make them look like how they look in hand. Are you expecting them to be better or worse? I think some non-metallic metal can, yeah, it can depend a little bit on the lighting. Okay, see me home. I'll look when I go smoke here in a minute. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's sort of one of those things that's like in the eye of whoever's looking at it, right? I can try and as accurately represent my figures in hand as I feel like they look like, or in photos as I feel like they look like in hand, but everyone's going to have a slightly different viewing experience, right? So I try and just be as accurate as possible. I still think true metallics are better for gaming figures, though. I think if I was going to paint a Warhammer 40k army, I would paint them with metallics. So the point, and we could talk about like this has been explained a lot, but non-metallic metal is basically so you can control the light, right? You want to paint the reflection exactly how you want it to be. And when you're dealing with gaming figures, you're putting the figures, I'm specifically talking about gaming figures for gaming, right? Not like gaming figures for display painting. When you're painting figures for tabletop, you don't always know like what lighting situation's going to be like. You move around the table a lot, so lighting, shifts and changes. And I feel like the metallic paint just looks better, more dynamic when you're moving figures around. Denny, what's up, man? ¿Qué pasa, Denny? Gracias. Can I zoom into his right cheek? What? Which one? This one? This right cheek? Or this right cheek? I mean, I figure that they're about the same, right? He's so sad. Look at his little pouty face. Or is he angry? Look at his shiny little belt buckle. Hey, Danny. Did you know that you can enter Middle Earth figures into the open category, a Golden Demon? So, you know, if somebody wanted to like make a 75 millimeter figure of Gandalf or something. Schmoove it. You want to sculpt the Tom Bombadil? Isn't there like a guy that's a werewolf in the books? Hey, Vincenzo. Vincenzo. How are you? What's going on tonight? It's popular tonight. Hey, Vincenzo, I got a question. No Italian has been able to answer this question. Why is chicken so sacred that you cannot put it on pasta or pizza, but you can put any other meat on pizza? So weird. It's just a bird. It's a delicious bird. So can you eat a chicken sandwich? So as long as it's encased in bread and not just on top of bread, it's fine. I'm just trying to understand your Italian ways. Whoa. It's a good thing you don't live in Italy anymore, because I feel like you'd be excommunicado right now. Yeah, what'd you think? I think it's pretty good. I'm a fan. The pizzeria in Monty sells a Hawaiian pizza with pineapple on it. I hand 90. Thanks for the follow. And then the Italians are like, no, that's just a tourist trap. That's just to see if you're American. I'm like, yeah, okay. My roommate went to Naples and he also took pictures of menus that had Hawaiian pizza on it. But I will say that the Monty Pizzeria did not have anything with chicken on it. It's like, we'll do pineapple, but chicken, you're going too far. What's y'all's favorite pizza toppings? Combaha. Hello, thanks for following. Mine is prosciutto and artichokes. I mean, I like marinara. I'm the same, Vincenzo. I'm not typically into... I painted the orc because I promised that I would buy my first Spira and paint it if he ever sculpted a proper orc. I know he did Orc Kong a long time ago, but it looks more like a gorilla than an orc. So I said, if he sculpts a proper orc, I will buy it and I will paint it. So I'm a man of my word. I did it. which then led to collectors being like, oh, I didn't know you painted Spiras. Please paint this Spira figure for me. So I opened a can of worms. But yeah, his stuff is typically kind of too whimsical for me. I'm not a big fan of the whimsy. You mean salami? Americans call it pepperoni, but yeah. It doesn't taste the same. Pepperoni has like some... It's like spicier than Italian salami. You ever notice it's kind of like extra red? I heard you went to an Olive Garden, and I was like, that when you were in, what was it, Texas? That you had them take you to an Olive Garden? Are you insane? Why would you do that? Occasional. Hey, Eric, I just commented on YouTube, but if you don't mind, do you have an FAQ anywhere? No, I don't have an FAQ anywhere. What's your frequently asked question that you would like to ask? And I will try and answer it. I'm married to my work. Wondering about your palette and mediums you use. So this is Redgrass Games wet palette, right? The XL with the reusable membrane. I will say that the reusable membrane is good for me. It works well in my particular climate, humidity. Fine, I would suggest not taking my word on exactly what I use and try a few different papers and things like that. Find what works best for you. As far as mediums, I don't really use any mediums in my paint, just water. And then, I paint with Vallejo and Chimera mostly. No, don't go try and get authentic Italian food in the US when you're Italian. You can get Italian food at home. Get good American food while you're in America. Get yourself, yeah, exactly. Get yourself some delicious barbecue, get some brisket, some pulled pork. Get yourself a 32-ounce ribeye, some ribs. Then make it at home. I'll be honest, a steak, like you could kind of go, because you can get a steak Florentine in Italy that's pretty damn good. So steak is kind of steak. You want some? I don't know, where in Germany are you from? Are you Bavarian? We've got a Bavarian place that's pretty close to us that is pretty traditional. And it's pretty good. You get some Schweinhocks. Get some Barnwurst. Some Spätzle. Huh? The beer garden. The beer garden in Portsmouth. No, I've never tried to make Spätzle from scratch. I've never done that. And I don't think I will. Did you get Mexican food while you were in Texas? That's what you should have done. What? What did you get? if you've never had Mexican, like Tex-Mex, just get fajitas. See ya. Yeah, 'cause Texas Mexican and California Mexican's way different. A lot different. Okay. All right. Almost done with these little funny belt icons. Put a little more yellow into the highlights. Couple spots. Make it subtle, but it'll warm it up just a little bit. Okay. All right. My foot is asleep. Okay. So, yeah, we created a different type of metallic using the same colors, right? Still using basically colors that we used in the leather. We created a totally different feeling just by skipping the midtones of like the orange and red and using a little green, but we're still in that same feeling. Okay. Now, I'm going to paint this little thing. This shape is like super weird because it's a spiral. So you get some very odd reflections where you get a bit of light on top, and you get a little light on the bottom. So we're going to try and paint the like double reflections, and we'll use a little more blue. The blue is in, it's a little more green than yellow. Some colder reflections on the back side and bottom of the spiral. So just sketch where like weird crossing reflections would be, right? So we're going to pick up some of that shirt reflection. Then we'll go a little warmer. For this side. So we'll get a little bit of the chain or the scale. Okay, like that. Now we've got to paint thin little edged lights. Don't want to go as bright as on the main areas, right? Because this is off to the side, away from here. We're not in the main light. We want to catch these little edges like this. Then you have this inside edge, and we connect those a little bit. Okay. All right, something like that. And we could put a little spark in there. Something like that. Murky Minaj, hello, and Kambaha and iHand. Oh, I think I got iHand. Yeah, welcome. Hello. I mean, it's not super important. It's not a super important bit, you know. Just do your best. All right, what else? Well, we've got all the leather colors out. So I'm going to skip out on just a touch of the red for this. So I'm going to pull a little of the red out. I'm going to grab some of this. I'm going to grab just a touch of the green. That'll gray this a little bit. There's a guy on YouTube. I forget what his name is. It's Nicholas or something. Nicholas, I think. He's been timestamping the YouTube videos. And I've been pinning them. And I appreciate it. It's very nice of him. What a guy. He is truly a gentleman and a scholar. The shadow under the beard is painted. See how it moves around? Or it doesn't move around as I move the figure. Okay. Shoulder leather. Well, because why not? Do you have many colors, or do you tend to use core colors and mix yourself? I mean, I've got a lot of colors. Like, I've got all kinds of bottles of paint over here. But I tend to try and stay pretty limited on like my overall palette when I'm working on any individual piece. So I've got a lot of stuff that I can choose from. It's just knowing when to use all those colors. Might have 100 paints on my desk, but I'm only using like 10 at any time. Yeah, I'm always happy to share and answer any questions. Okay. We don't have to do anything super fancy here on the leather. It's kind of off to the side. It's not majorly important to the figure. Give him a couple little scratches and things. To just beat up the edge a little bit. So the way the light comes in like this, right? The shield, which is right here. Like this. So it would come over like this. So if I need to cast a shadow on the arm, I could, but also the shield is like pretty big. So it's where it would cast shadows is like not super important. I could put one like on his shirt or something. Like maybe I'd paint one like here, but it would be so small in terms of like the grand scheme. Yeah, exactly. When it's extremely close to the body like that, it gets very the distance of the shadow is very short. Thus, it's not super dynamic where it would be. And sometimes I just like, if I don't find a cast shadow to be interesting, like if I don't think it adds anything to the figure or can even take away, I just won't paint it. I'm not trying to make a perfect physical representation of every little cast shadow on the figure, right? Because some of them might look kind of silly, or like they'd be so small they might be confusing. So you don't have to paint them. I include the ones I think are aesthetic. And I ignore the others. Hi, Spawn Maximus. Hi, Coranus. Hello, welcome. Thanks for following. I could show you on Bane. If you go back and look at Bane Bloodhoof, there's a pretty big part of him, of that figure, that would cast like a pretty large shadow that I just didn't include because I thought it looked weird. I did not like the shape that it made, and well, specifically the interaction between two shapes. So I just didn't use it. I just didn't put it on. I said, nah, I'm good. So I look at this now and double checking it. I go, okay, it's a little a little too similar at the moment. So I'm going to take some of this smoke, the color. It's kind of like an ink. It's like a dark sort of sepia ink. I'm gonna just glaze some of this over top. This will knock this leather back down. And just change the tonality a little bit. I'd also put just a ever so slight shine on it. Yeah, glaze being heavily thinned down, right? You could call it a filter, you could call it a glaze. It's more about the application. Glaze in the classical painting sense. Yes, you can, but I'm using water to create a glaze consistency. I'm going to throw a little bit on the belt also. See, it just makes that leather a little deeper, a little richer. Makes it a little richer. Yeah, glaze in ceramics is different. When you're talking about like glazing on a canvas, but we've somehow in miniature painting like associated glazing, the technique, with blending, and that's not exactly what it is. Like, yes, you can use glazes to blend, but really it's just about applying a thin layer of paint to just alter, to just shift the color a little bit. Hi, Leaf. Okay. So, see, it just, like, these felt kind of similar before, these three. Like, this started to create this sort of thing where the leather started to look a bit like the beard and a bit like the chest. So, using that just helps distinguish them a little more. But it's still within the color palette, right? What are we at? All right. I think I've got another 30 minutes tonight, and then I gotta get back to painting the old golden demon boy. So what do I want to work on? Well, let's paint a little bit on the wrist strap. Oh, I Joe Skynet. Gracias. Bienvenido. Every Wednesday. But except next Wednesday, because I'll be in Chicago. He's a good one. The most popular Lucas figure to date. You'll do fine, Ras. You'll finish in time. Just do the best you can. That's what's important. I have seen his Damascus sword. I thought it was pretty cool, except it's not Damascus. But I didn't want to be the like historical nerd guy and be like, but that's pattern welded steel, not Damascus. That's not how Damascus is made. That's a modern pattern welded steel. Historical swords don't look like that. But then you remember it's a fantasy figure, and who cares? It looks cool. No, I'm not doing that. Red Xiphos, welcome. Or is it Zephos? I think it's Zephos. Not up on my Greek. I mean, I think it could be cool, and I think you could do. I mean, I've seen Kirill do similar things with like, etching. You know, like on helmets and stuff. He's done some pretty crazy, like acid etching on metallics effects. So I think it's cool. I just think finding the right figure for it is important. Like I've seen people do non-metallic and paint the Hamon line on the like wavy line on katanas. That's cool. So I think there's a lot of interesting things you can do. We're talking about your Damascus. And I nerd fingered that it's not Damascus. I got really nerdy for a second. It is pattern welded steel. Blacksmiths would get. The historical guys would hate it. They'd hate it so much. Be like, this isn't how they made steel in the 1800s. This isn't how they made steel in the Middle Ages. They didn't make these kind of patterns. No, I think it looks awesome. I think it looks really cool, and I don't care. But if you did that on a historical piece, whew, you'd get some very angry old men at you. I have one gigantic light right above me, and it's like 2 feet across. That's about 60 centimeters for my European viewers. Probably about 70 centimeters. I don't know. I sent you the one, didn't I? So, did you put the diffuser on it? And turn it all the way to the brightest setting? I've got it cranked all the way up. That's fine for me. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really get any shadows on the side. I also have like a white background though, so that helps like bounce some light back up. And I think it's one of those things that's lights are another one that feels pretty personal. Like, find what works best for you, right? Some people have those like crazy LED arch things. I need to zoom in for this. Here we go. Some little stitches. See ya. I'm probably not too long left on the stream. Like I said, gotta get my gotta get back to my Golden Demon project or I'll never finish in time. Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, maybe try pulling it back slightly or, I mean, I do have another lamp like right over there, but it's not like really powerful. If I turn this one off, like, bye, like everything just goes black. We leave on Tuesday. Come find me at Adepticon. I'll be around. At some point, I'm doing a demo. Think Thursday at Big Child, the Big Child stand, booth, whatever you want to call it. I'll be there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be places. Come ask me all your burning miniature painting questions. I don't know. I'd have to watch you try and paint eyes. Because they're small? Because you're bad and you should feel bad? I don't know. Why can't you paint eyes? You tell me. That's typically the number one answer. To why am I bad at this? Because you don't paint enough. Because you're not practicing enough. I know this is an insane theory. But it takes practice to get good. When you've painted a few, I don't know, 100 miniatures, you'll probably be pretty good at painting eyes. Just my guess, though. Little jewelry doodad. This hand's really not going to get much paint on it. This one will. But this one is behind the shield, so. You can see like a little bit of his hand from like just the front, but the shield covers up most of this arm. Like that. We'll do a freehand on the shield though, once I figure out what the heck I want to paint. I don't know yet. Something probably Viking / Lord of the Rings dwarf kind of inspired. Some kind of, I don't know. We'll see. I almost want to cut the little thing off the center and just paint a full design, but I do like the little piece in the middle also. Yeah, don't waste time on stuff that you can't see. There's a tip for painting faster. If you have to go like this to see it, it ain't worth painting. At least it's not worth, going crazy, like painting to a finished level. Just base coat it. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there for today because, like I said, I got to get back to project, and it's been about 3 hours. So I will see you all either in a week at Adepticon, or I'll see you on stream in 2 weeks. So, thanks for hanging out. I will